Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and in today's video discussion we are going to be talking about the TWC's outlook here for the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. The TWC is the weather company or the weather channel, however you want to look at it. We're just going to see what they expect here. They expect another busy one, so that's a telling sign. So what we see here is that they are the outlook cites neutral to cool Enzo regions here. So that's pretty dead on. And we're taking a look at the Enzo here shortly. So here is the 1991 to 2020 averages, which is 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. As you guys know, Colorado State University is going with 19 named storms and 9 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes, with a total ACE accumulation of 160, which would promote a low end hyperactive season. Now here's the weather company's numbers here. We got 20 named storms, which is pretty high. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it now. I mean, 8 hurricanes and 4 major hurricanes. So this is shaping up to be a pretty decent hurricane season. So as you guys know, NOAA is predicting a nearly 90% chance of being in either neutral or La Nina conditions during these months of August, September, and October, and those are your typical peak hurricane season months as we head out through, the hurricane season, and that's basically where 90, like either 85% or 90% of the activity for the season occurs. So we see these models. Some of these models want to keep it pretty decently strong La Nina, but the majority of them want to creep up towards the neutral line during the August, September, October timeframe, and we're just gonna have to see how that plays out. Now, water temperatures are still below 80 degrees, but that's pretty typical for this time of year. I expect that once we get towards the end of April, we should be having those temperatures near 80 degrees in a lot of places, especially in the MDR region, because the trade winds are going to start weakening, and that's going to help promote warming of the MDR region, which there's some implications that they could warm up pretty nicely before the hurricane season even starts. So, here obviously you guys know the names for this year. Alex, Bonnie, Colin, et cetera, et cetera. So, how will this season pan out to 2021? That could be similar to what they might expect this season, and it happens to include 2021, which had 21 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 4 major hurricanes, Category 3 status or higher. So when we look at the other years that they are going with analogs here, we got 1996, we got 2000, 2001, 2008, and 2012. Those are some very interesting seasons that they have here for analogs. So that's gonna be we're gonna have to see how this all correlates a little bit later on in the hurricane season. All right, so now that we have that out of the way, we're finally getting all these predictions in now. So now we're gonna go over everybody's forecast so far. So as you guys know, CSU put out a a forecast for last year in December. They went 13 to 16 named storms, 6 to 8 hurricanes, and 2 to 3 major hurricanes. TSR tropical storm risk. December 10th, they put 18, 8, and 3, but then they came back in April and only added 1 major hurricane to that. So they're keeping true to their first prediction, but 1 major hurricane. And then we came back in April 7th with the CSU second update, and now we got 19, 9, and 4. And then obviously we went over the weather company's numbers here, and they got 28 and 4. So that's gonna be a very interesting season. I'm sure of that. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the sea surface temperatures here, and you can see from the last video that I did that this warm tongue is starting to make its way north now by a pretty good margin here, and this is a pretty big change here, as this was capped off around the 27 line, and now it's creeping up to like the 29 line. So this loop current is now taking effect on this warm waters, and now we're going to see how quickly these waters are going to start warming up as we head through towards the start of May. Which, I am predicting we're going to have another, preseason storm in May, maybe two. I mean, who knows? But as you can see in the typical suspect areas, we got 26s, 27s, even some 28s in here. MDR, Western MDR region, we got 26s above the 15 line. And that's about it. So here is a look at the sea surface temperatures for the whole of the Atlantic Basin here. And you can see, we got some 26s around here in the 21 line, or probably the 23, 22 line. Western MDR, these 26s are creeping towards the 18 line. Now, these down here near the 10, 11 line, these are starting to creep up slowly. Now, as I've been saying, like I said towards the start of this video, there is some indications that we could be seeing a pretty decent warm up here in these MDR region. You can see that these sea surface temperatures here are pretty hot. That could be coming and intruding northward as we head out through the month of April. And there's going to be some westerly wind bursts going on, and those westerlies are going to help promote that warming. Not only that, but the Canary currents are warm, and so is the currents from Iceland too. And that's going to help promote the warming as we head out through the month of April into May, and then throughout the hurricane season. So I don't expect that these sea surface temperatures are going to stay cool for very long. That's just how I see it. I've done the research, and there's indicators that are telling us that we could have a pretty decent warm up between the end of April and the start of hurricane season. So we're going to have to see how that works out in the end. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the ENSO 3.4 region. And we're not going to look at this. We've already pointed this out many times in the past, this January through March 1st timeline. So now we're going to talk about what happens after March 1st. And you see here that we were at a moderate La Nina stage here, creeping around the negative 1.1 degree frame here. And as you can see, it's pretty much been fluctuating here. We got above the negative 1 and then went back down below negative 1. And then back up, and then a sharp incline here, then roller coaster rides all the way through. So this is pretty much a fluctuation. It's pretty normal when you see this kind of stuff happen. Yeah, obviously there are some trade winds in these areas, so that's probably going to force it to stick around in the La Nina territory for a while to come, as we work our way through hurricane season. And the new CPC update came out, and now through the rest of the year, we only got a 10% chance of an El Nino forming. So you can just, kiss El Nino goodbye probably for the rest of the year, unless something major happens, which, obviously I don't foresee that. I mean, obviously it could change, but right now there's nothing indicating that we could be heading into an El Nino. It would have to take a hell of a westerly wind burst to do that. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at the vorticity here, and this is the spin in the atmosphere here. And the higher the number, the more the spin is. And you can see that this is typical for April. We got mid latitude storms that is dominating here. And this is the line. This is the front here that you see draped over Canada, northern U.S., northeast, and heading into the deep south. This is the front that caused severe weather in some of these areas in the Central Plains, going into the Midwest the last couple of days, and now we're seeing that line, you know, drape over portions of New England in the South. So, and there's a pretty interesting feature that the GFS wants to spin up here, which we'll take a look at here real quick. Obviously, it's not going to be, anything tropical or subtropical, but it's still an interesting feature nonetheless. So as we head out through time, you can see our front here kind of just meanders and then interacts with whatever moisture this is above, Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. And then, as you can see, a tropical, kind of like a tropical wave develops here. And as you can see, it automatically gets, pulled into a front here. But as you can see, it does develop a low pressure area. And, it's just obviously it's a reminder that the signs are starting to show up. If that front wasn't there, then we could be trying to speak about something trying to form with this. But here we are. The fronts are there, and this is obviously isn't going to form. But the signs are there that we are approaching the hurricane season or the preseason start, which the last 7 years we've had May systems. So I'm always glued to these models, and I will definitely have the latest for you guys. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys again in the next one. Have a nice day.